Okay, today let us see the next experiment, or today let us do or perform the next experiment, that is experiment number 5. Now the aim of today's experiment, it is to synthesize and submit phenothiazine. Okay, today we have to synthesize and submit phenothiazine from the particular diphenylamine. Okay, and also to determine its percent practical yield as well as melting point. Okay, so let us do the experiment, that is synthesis of phenothiazine. Okay, now let us see about this experiment. So first of all, let us see about the procedure. Okay, so into the procedure, first of all you have to take 500 ml round bottom flask. Okay, you have to take or 250 ml round bottom flask. You have to clean it, dry it. After that, you have to add 11 gram of diphenylamine. You have to add then 11 gram of diphenylamine. Okay. Now, if diphenylamine it is in liquid form, so you can take 11 ml or 12 ml of diphenylamine and you have to place into round bottom flask. Okay. After addition of 11 gram of diphenylamine, then you have to add 4.4 gram of sulfur. Okay, then you have to add 4.4 gram of sulfur in round bottom flask. Then you have to mix it by using stirrer. After that, you have to add 1.5 gram of anhydrous aluminum chloride. Okay, after that you have to add 1.5 gram of anhydrous aluminum chloride. Okay, now this anhydrous aluminum chloride means you have to dry this aluminum chloride into hot air oven, so that the particular moisture or water it is present in aluminum chloride, it will be removed. Okay, so after the drying, you have to take this anhydrous aluminum chloride, that is 1.5 gram, and you have to place in the RBF, and then you have to mix and stir with by using stirrer. Okay, so after stirring, then you have to keep this particular round bottom flask along this mixture of chemicals on heating mantle to heat this particular powder mixture of chemicals. Okay, until it melts together. Okay, until it melts together, you have to heat this particular solids of the chemicals in round bottom flask until it get mixed and it convert into liquids. Okay, so the temperature you have to maintain 105 to 150 degrees centigrade. Okay, during the melting, there is a evolution of hydrogen sulfide. Okay, there is a evolution of hydrogen sulfide gas is prepared. Okay, there is a evolution of hydrogen sulfide gas takes place. Okay, now during the heating and during the chemical reactions, okay, it is proceed, and during the chemical reaction into this RBF, during the heating, there is a evolution of this white color hydrogen sulfide gas. Okay, so during this experiment, you have to wear the mask and safety goggles properly, because hydrogen sulfide gas, it may be toxic to your nervous system, or it is toxic to your respiratory systems. Okay, so that there is a evolution of hydrogen sulfide gas after the melting of this mixture, okay, or these solids into liquids. Okay, so after the evolution of this hydrogen gas and after the melting of these solids into liquids, okay, then you have to cool this solution on room temperature. You have to cool this solution on room temperature. Then you have to extract with this solution. Then you have to extract this solution with first with water and then with alcohol. Means you have to take small amounts of water into this cool solution, and then you have to again heat for 2 to 5 minutes. After that, again you have to cool, and again you have to add dilute ethanol to this solution. Again you have to heat or boil for 2 to 5 minutes. Then there will be the complete extraction of this final compounds. Okay, that is extract with water and ethanol. Okay, after extraction you get the with ethanol, and after cooling on room temperature you get some precipitate. Okay, and after cooling further on ice bath, so you will get the maximum amount of crystals of the this phenothiazine. Okay, and this phenothiazine crystals, it is crystals of phenothiazine, it is particular greenish, okay, greenish yellow. Okay, this crystals, it is greenish yellow. Okay, the crystals of phenothiazine, it is greenish yellow in color. Okay, that will be your actual compound. Now after giving these crystals greenish yellow after the filtration, then you have to go for the drying. Okay, after drying you have to take the weight, that will be your practical yield. After that you have to take melting point, and after that we have to go for the recrystallization by using the ethanol as solvent. After the recrystallization with ethanol and solvent, so again you have to dry it and again you have to take melting point. Okay. After that you have to compare the melting point before recrystallization and after recrystallization. Okay. Also you have to do the calculation by taking the practical hit. Okay, and that will be your, after calculation, that will be your percent practical hit. Okay. Now this is about the procedure. Now let us see about the particular reaction and mechanism of this synthesis of phenothiazine. Now after the procedure, let us see the next part, that is the chemical reaction and mechanism of phenothiazine. Now first of all, look at the chemical reaction. Now chemical reaction, we are using diphenylamine. Okay. Now it is diphenylamine. Okay, and it reacted with anhydrous AlCl3 in the presence of 2 moles of the sulfur, and there is application of heat. It converted into phenothiazine. Also there is the evolution of hydrogen sulfide gas. Okay. Now here diphenylamine contains, this is the amino group. Okay, and these two phenyl groups are attached to this nitrogen of amino group, so it is the diphenylamine. Okay. Now when it reacted with AlCl3, okay, so there is a removal of AlCl3 as well as the 2 moles of this sulfur, and application of heat, it converted into phenothiazine. Okay. Now first of all, here hydrogens are present. Okay. Now these 2 hydrogens, okay, they will combine with 1 sulfur. Okay, and they remove as hydrogen sulfide gas. You can see here hydrogen sulfide gas, it will remove. Okay. Now the remaining sulfur, okay, it will be attached to both the rings carbon atom. Okay, and finally we get the phenothiazine. Okay. Now let us see the mechanism. This is about the reactions of the phenothiazine. Now let us see the mechanism. Now into the mechanism, there is a dehydrogenation. Okay, there is a dehydrogenation takes place. Okay, the mechanism, that is the dehydrogenation takes place into this step number 1. In that, 2 hydrogens which is attached to this carbon atom of the both the rings. Okay, this ring contains this hydrogen, this ring contains another hydrogen. Okay, so both the hydrogens will remove. Okay, so it is the dehydrogenation step, that is the removal of hydrogen atom. Means 2 positively charged hydrogens will be removed first. Okay, and after the removal, this hydrogen give lone pair of electron on this ring carbon, another hydrogen give lone pair of electron on next ring carbon. Okay, so this carbon will electron rich on the ring. Okay, you can see here. Okay, so the ring carbon is electron rich. Okay, you can see there is a this carbon is electron rich, another carbon it is electron rich. Okay, now after that you can see we have the 2 moles of the sulfur. Now it is the particular metal surface reaction AlCl3. AlCl3 contains the metal, okay, aluminum chloride. Okay, so after heating this sulfur with this aluminum chloride, so 2 moles of the sulfur it converts into, one will be S positively charged and one is S negatively charged. Okay, 2 ions of the sulfur we get after the surface reaction with aluminum chloride after heating. One it is the S positive charge, another it is the S negative charge. Okay, now S positive charge sulfur, it will be attached on electron rich center on this carbon atom on the ring. Okay, and another part of this electron deficient sulfur will also attach to another electron rich carbon on the ring. Okay, so in this way there is formation of cyclic structure, that is the second number ring. Okay, so you can see here cyclic structure means sulfur, it is present on attached to both the rings. Okay, at this side. Okay, at this side. So in this way there is a formation of phenothiazine. Also during the reaction, the sulfur negatively charged. Okay, this sulfur negatively charged. Okay, which acquires negative charge and lone pair of electron. Then it will be attached to 2 hydrogens which are H positive, means which are electron deficient. Okay, sulfur attached to 2 hydrogens which are electron deficient. So in this way there is a evolution of this hydrogen sulfide gas. Okay. Now this is about the mechanism as well as the chemical reactions of this phenothiazine. Now after that let us see, or let us do the particular part, that is the calculation. Okay, let us do the next part, that is the calculation part. Okay, now let us do the calculation part. Into the calculation, let us calculate first of all theoretical yield of phenothiazine. Okay, so let us see do the theoretical yield. Now first of all, molecular formula of diphenylamine. This is the structure of diphenylamine. The molecular formula it is C12H11 and 1 nitrogen. Means one ring contains 6 carbon, another ring contains 6. So total C12, and this first ring contains 5 carbon, 5 hydrogen, another ring contains 5 hydrogen. So it is 10 hydrogen plus this nitrogen bears 1 hydrogen. So it is H11, okay, and 1 nitrogen. So C12H11, 1 nitrogen, it is the molecular formula for the diphenylamine. So calculate the molecular weight. So 12 into 12 plus 1 into 11 plus 14 into 1. So is equal to 169 gram per mole. This is the molecular weight of the diphenylamine. Okay. Likewise, molecular formula of phenothiazine. Okay, you can see this is the structure of phenothiazine, and this is the molecular formula of phenothiazine, that is C12H9, 1 nitrogen, 1 sulfur. Means both ring contains 6 plus 6, so it is 12 carbon atoms, so C12, and 9 hydrogens. Means this is from 4 and this is from 4 another ring. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 from this ring, 4 from this ring, so it is 8, and plus this nitrogen bears 1 hydrogen. So total 9, nitrogen 1, and sulfur is 1. Okay, so molecular formula, the molecular weight will be 12 into 12 plus 1 into 9 plus 14 into 1 plus 32 into 1. 32 it is the molecular atomic weight of this sulfur. Okay, so the total will be 199 gram per mole. It is the molecular weight of the phenothiazine. Okay. Now 11 into the procedure we have taken 11 gram of diphenylamine. So it gives 8 gram of phenothiazine. Means 169 gram of this diphenylamine, it gives 199 gram of the phenothiazine. So 11 gram of diphenyl, it gives how much gram of or H gram of the phenothiazine. Okay, so there is a cross multiplication, means 11 into this 199. First of all, 11 into 99. Okay, 199, and divided by 169. Okay, so I am writing here x is equal to, okay, x is equal to 11 into 199 divided by 169. Okay, so is equal to total the theoretical after calculation it will be 12 into 12.95 gram. Okay, so the theoretical yield of this phenothiazine is 12.995 gram. Okay, it is found to be 12.95 gram. Okay, now we have done our experiment, and we have also done our practical yield. Okay, so practical yield is practical yield. It is found to be practical yield. It is found to be that is 8.2 gram. Okay, practical yield of our compound is 8.2 gram. Okay, now after calculations of theoretical yield, practical yield, let us calculate the percent practical yield, the next part. Now let us do the next part of calculation, that is the percent practical yield. Okay. Now the percent practical yield calculation, we have the formula practical yield upon theoretical yield into 100. Okay. Now we have practical yield 8.2 gram, theoretical yield it is found to be 12.95 gram. Okay, and into 100. Okay. So after calculation we get the percent practical yield, that is the 63%. Okay, we get the percent practical yield is 63%. Okay. Now after percent practical yield also we have performed the melting point. So before recrystallization melting point it is 160 degree, and after the recrystallization the melting point it is found to be 185 degree. Okay, centigrade. Now this is about the calculation and melting point. Now next is uses. Okay. Now uses of phenothiazine. Okay. Now uses of phenothiazine. Okay, now uses of phenothiazines, in that it is used as anti-emetic, It is used as anti-emetic. It is used as anti-psychotic. Okay, psychotic. Okay. After that, it have uses, that is antihistamine. Okay, and antihistamine. Okay. Now, this particular phenothiazine ring, it contains in many medicinal compounds which having the medicinal uses like as anti-emetic. Okay, which are used to prevent the or to control the emetic or emesis or the vomiting. Okay. Also, it is used as antipsychotic agents. Antipsychotics means these are used into the schizophrenia patient or the psychiatric patients. Another, it is found to be into the antihistaminics. Okay, to inhibit the activity of the histamines. Okay, so this is about the uses as well as the calculation part, and this is about the experiment number 5, that is A, to synthesize and submit phenothiazine. Okay, this is the completion of this experiment. Okay, as per the procedure explained on the board, let us see. Let us do the next experiment, that is experiment number 5, and the aim of this experiment number 5, it is to synthesize and submit phenothiazine. Okay, to synthesize and submit phenothiazine and to determine its percentage purity and its melting point. Okay, so today we will perform this experiment, that is synthesis of phenothiazine. Okay, so first of all, let us see the procedure. Now, as per the procedure, we have to take 11 gram of diphenylamine. Okay, if diphenylamine it is not present into the solid form, then you can take in liquid form also. Okay, so you can take 11 ml of diphenylamine, then you have to take 4.4 gram of the sulfur. Okay, 4.4 gram of sulfur. After that, you have to take 1.5 gram of anhydrous aluminum chloride. Okay, now anhydrous aluminum chloride, in that anhydrous means you have to remove the water or moisture from the aluminum chloride powder by heating in hot air oven for 1 hour. Okay, so you get the anhydrous aluminum chloride. Okay, so after that, you have to place all these chemicals into the RBF and you have to melt together by heating. Okay, after heating, there is a formation of this solution. Okay, and this solution, after the formation, there is a evolution of hydrogen sulfide gas. Okay, and after that you have to cool the mixture, reaction mixture, and then you have to extract first with water, after that extract with ethanol, and finally you get the residue of pure phenothiazine. Okay, after that you have to recrystallize it from ethanol or alcohol. Okay, so let us do this practical. Now, first of all, you want some chemicals for the synthesis of phenothiazine. For the synthesis of phenothiazine, you want some chemicals. So, first of all, we have here diphenylamine solution. After that, we have aluminum chloride. Also, we have this sulfur. Okay, and also we required ethanol for recrystallization. So, these are the chemicals which required for the synthesis of phenothiazine. After that, we required some apparatus. In that, we required this round bottom flask. Okay, then the clamp to hold the round bottom flask. After that, for the filtration, we required the glass funnel. Okay, tripod stand, filter paper, stirrer for stirring purpose. Okay, also we require the beakers. So these are some apparatus or glassware which is required for synthesis of the phenothiazine. Okay, so let us do the synthesis of phenothiazine. So first of all, you have to weigh. Measure, that is 11 ml of this phenothiazine. Okay, I have taken in measuring cylinder 11 ml of this phenothiazine, which having the particular pale blue color. Okay, you can see here it is phenothiazine in measuring cylinder. It's having the faint blue color. Okay, this phenothiazine solution. Okay, after that you have to take 4.4 gram of sulfur. So this is 4.4 gram of sulfur I have taken here. Okay, after that you have to require 1.5 gram of anhydrous aluminum chloride. Okay, it is dried aluminum chloride, so it is 1.5 gram of anhydrous aluminum chloride. Now this aluminum chloride we have to dry in hot air oven, okay, for 1 hour. So you will get this anhydrous aluminum chloride. Okay, so after that you have to take 1.5 gram of anhydrous aluminum chloride into round bottom flask. Okay, now after taking into round bottom flask, you have to heat on heating mantle to melt the particular mixture of these chemicals. Finally, there is a evolutions of hydrogen sulfide takes place after the melting, okay, or after heating these solutions. So let us do this one by one. Now first of all, you have to place this 11 ml of diphenylamine into particular round bottom flask. Okay, I am transferring this diphenylamine into this round bottom flask slowly. Okay, like this. Okay, I have added this 11 ml of diphenylamine into round bottom flask. Okay, after that the next chemical you have to take into this round bottom flask, that is 4.4 gram of sulfur. Okay, so I am taking this 4.4 gram of sulfur and transferring into this round bottom flask. Okay, so here I have added this 4.4 gram of sulfur, okay, into this round bottom flask, you can see. Okay, after that let us add the next chemicals, that is 1.5 gram of anhydrous aluminum chloride. Okay, this is 1.5 gram of anhydrous aluminum chloride. So I am adding into this round bottom flask again. Okay, like this. So I am adding here. So I have added 1.5 gram of anhydrous aluminum chloride also into this round bottom flask. Okay, after the additions of all this mixture, all these chemicals, then you have to heat and melt this particular solution of these solids, or we can say the mixture of the solids. Okay, you have to melt. Okay, first of all you have to shake this chemicals powders mixture, and then after that you have to melt on heating. Okay, on heating mantle. Okay, so let's start the heating to melt these all chemicals in powder forms, and we get the solid converted into liquid substance, so we get the liquid solution. Okay, the reaction it is taking place between them, and evolutions of the hydrogen sulfide gas you can see. Okay, the reaction it is started. Okay, reaction it is started, you can see. Okay, and there is a evolutions of hydrogen sulfide gas by the reaction between these chemicals. So let us start this heating. Okay, and temperature it is about 104. The temperature you have to maintain about 104 degrees centigrade. Okay, or we have the temperature knob that is about 100, so you have to maintain the temperature about 100 degrees centigrade of this heating mantle. Okay, now here heating is started, and the mixture of these solid chemicals are going to melt into this round bottom flask, you can see. Okay, so start heating for about 10 minutes to melt all this powder mixture of chemicals, and we get the solution. Okay, now the reaction it is started by heating or melting these solids into the round bottom flask, and you have to maintain the temperature about 104 to 150 degrees centigrade to complete the chemical reaction between these chemicals or reactants. Okay, heating is going of this particular mixture of solids chemicals in round bottom flask on heating mantle. Okay, so let us do this heating for 10 minutes to melt all these solids and it convert into the liquid. So after that we get the melted or liquid form of these chemicals. After that we have to cool this solution, and after cooling then we have to extract this solution first of all with water, and after that we have to extract with alcohol. Then we get the residue, okay, and we get the final compound. Okay, now look at here, hydrogen sulfide gas. Hydrogen sulfide gas is evolved, okay, from this mixture after heating. So hydrogen sulfide gas, you can see from the round bottom flask, it is evolved by the heating of this mixture. Okay, so after formation of hydrogen sulfide gas, all the solids will melt. Okay, after heating, the all solids of this chemical mixture are melted here. Okay, so you get the liquid form. Okay, I have stopped heating and we get the melted form, or we get the liquid. Okay, you can see there is a formation of the liquids. Okay, this is the formation of liquid. You can see the all solids are dissolved and melted here. Okay, you can see the solids converted into liquids. So we get the melted solids. Okay, now these solids are melted and we get the liquid solution. Okay, now we have to cool this, allow to cool this solution on room temperature. Okay, so allow to cool this liquid mixture on room temperature. Okay, allow to this cool this mixture, okay, on room temperature, and then you have to extract then after cooling this mixture solution. So you have to extract with first water, means you have to add some water and then you have to heat again. So it will be extracted from water. Then you have to add some ethanol, that is the dilute ethanol. So again you have to heat on heating mantle, so it will be extract from dilute ethanol also. Okay, so after that you get the residue. Now after the evolutions of hydrogen sulfide gas, there is a formation of this liquid of these solids, and you have to allow to cool for a few minutes on room temperature. After that you have to extract this mixture first of all from the water, and then you have to extract from dilute ethyl alcohol. Okay, means you have to heat this solution with water, okay, on heating mantle, then it will be extracted from water, and then after that you have to extract it or heat this solution with dilute ethyl alcohol, okay, on heating mantle. So it will be extracted from ethanol or dilute ethanol. After that you will get the residue, and this residue nothing but this is the pure phenothiazine. Okay, that is your actual compound. Okay, so let us stand this solution. Let us stand this solution for 10 minutes to cool at room temperature. Okay, after cooling on room temperature of this solution, you can see this solution, it is cool now on room temperature. Okay, so we get such type of mixture, you can see. Okay, after cooling on room temperature, okay, such type of liquid we get. Now after to cool this solution on room temperature, now next step it is to extract this solution from water, means you have to add water, some water part into this solution, and then you have to heat on this solution again on heating mantle, and after that again cool, and again after that extract with dilute ethanol on same procedure, means heat on heating mantle and then cool, and after that you get the residue. Okay, so let us do the extraction of this liquid or solution from water. Okay, so this is water. Here I am adding the water into this solution. Okay, I am adding some water into this solution like this. Okay, I am shaking this flask. Now I am going to heat on heating mantle to extract this particular solution. Okay, now heating mantle is started heating. Now after for 2 to 3 minutes or for 5 minutes you have to heat on this heating mantle, temperature 50 to 60 degree, so that this you will get the extract, means you have to extract this solution from water, okay, so that you get the extract. And after the extract, then solution you have to cool again, and then you have to add dilute alcohol, and then again you have to heat on heating mantle for 5 to 10 minutes. Then you have to cool. After cooling you get the residue, okay. Let us do this experiment. Okay, after heating with water or extracted with water, okay, the solution you have to boil for 2 to 3 minutes, so that all the solution or actual compound it is extracted from water, okay. So after the heating with this water for after 5 minutes, you get this solution, that is the extraction from water, and heating on heating mantle for 5 minutes, so you get such type of solution. Now after the formation of this such type of solution, and after the extraction with the water, then next step is extraction with dilute ethyl alcohol, okay, in same manner. Means you have to add some portions of ethyl alcohol, and then you have to heat on this heating mantle until you get the residue, okay. So let us do the extraction with ethyl alcohol. That is the last step of this synthesis. Now after the cooling of this extract of water with solution, let us do the extractions of this solution by using ethanol, okay. Now we have here ethanol. I have taken ethanol in beaker, so I am adding the ethanol into this solution for the extractions with ethanol, okay. So I am adding this ethanol, okay, like this. I am adding ethanol into this solution, okay. So about 20 to 25 ml of ethanol as well as water you have to take for the extractions of this solution, okay. Then you have to shake, okay. After shaking, then you have to heat on heating mantle, okay. You have to heat on heating mantle for about 10 to 15 minutes, okay, to dissolve or to extract this particular solution with ethanol. After that cooling, we get the solids, and these solids nothing but these are the phenothiazine, okay. So let us do the heating and extractions of these solutions with ethanol, okay. So heating is started. Now after 10 minutes, let us see how the changes comes into this solution, and after that we get the residue, and this residue after cooling, this is the final compound, okay. So let us do this heating with ethanol for the extractions of this solution. Okay, after heating and extraction with this ethyl alcohol, okay, so you have to cool this solution, okay, after heating or extraction with alcohol on room temperature. After that you have to cool these solutions on ice bath if it is necessary. After that you get the solids of phenothiazine, and this color of this solid phenothiazine, it is greenish yellow in color, okay. So final compound, it is greenish yellow in color, okay. So that will be your final compound, okay. So allow to cool this solution of extracted from ethanol on room temperature, and then after that we will go for the cooling on ice bath. After that we get the crystals of this final compound, okay. Okay, on cooling on this ice bath, these solutions of final compound you can see, okay. After cooling on this solution on water bath, okay, after the cooling on ice bath, this solution we get the some solids, okay. You can see there is a presence of some solids, okay. Now these solids are present at the bottom, so you cannot see directly. So at the bottom there is a presence of these solids, okay. Now we will go for, now let us see these particular solids, and after formation of these solids at the bottom, now the next step, it is the filtration, okay. Let us do the filtration of this solution, okay, after formation of the final compound solids, okay. Now here filtration assembly, and we have to filter these solids, okay, like this. Okay, let us do the filtration of this solution or final compound. Okay, I am doing the filtration of these final compounds. Okay, some solids are present into this mixture. Okay, at the bottom, then we will separate it by the particular filtration. Okay, so filtration is going on here. Okay, filtration it is going on. Okay, so these are some solids you can see. Okay, so these are some solids and these are yellow, greenish yellow in color. Okay, and this greenish yellow color, these are the actual products of our compounds. Okay, so few solids are present into this solution. Okay, and we have to separate it by the filtration. Okay, so after the filtration we get the solids on the filter paper. Okay, so first of all do this filtration by the filtration assembly, and we get the solids on the filter paper. Okay, after the filtration you can see here formations of the final compound, that is the actual compound phenothiazine. Now phenothiazine, it is the solid crystals you can see, and it is pale yellow to greenish color. Okay, so these are the final compounds. Okay, this is our final compound, that is the phenothiazine. Okay, now after formation of this phenothiazine, the next is drying this phenothiazine into the hot air oven, and after drying you have to take the practical yield, and after practical yield you have to take the melting point. Okay, after that we will go for the recrystallization with ethanol, and after the recrystallization again I will take the melting point, and after that taking melting point I will compare this melting point before recrystallization and after recrystallization. Okay, after taking weight we get the practical yield, and this practical yield it is then used for the calculations of the percent practical yield. Okay, so let us do this next part, calculation, melting point and recrystallizations of this final compound of the phenothiazine. Okay.